Hello everyone. Week 7. 7 you can do lots of ways. 5 and 2 or 3 and 4. Lots of ways of doing 7. Right, today's story is about a very grumpy monkey called Minnie who loses her marbles. Okay, and there's lots of m sounds in it. Can you say m, 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 m? And we do m with our fingers by joining our thumbs together like this and pointing down, and that makes the m shape, and it looks like two mountains put together. So if I get my red pen, okay, we do m like this. Okay, we go up, down, and that says m. M for Minnie, m for monkey, and m for marbles. Okay, so I'm going to draw my story as we go, and you can draw yours too. Okay, and as usual we're going to start with once upon a time. Okay, and I'm going to start by drawing my monkey. So it looks a bit like a frog to start with. Okay, and some eyes, and then a mouth. And then what turns it into a monkey is putting its ears on. And then it stops looking like a frog and looks like a monkey. And this is Minnie. Minnie the monkey. Okay, so Minnie was a little monkey, and she lived with her family in the jungle, and it was here one day that her grandma gave her 6 marbles. So do marbles, they're like circles, like this. And then if you draw a little teardrop shape on them like that, makes them look a bit marbly. So she had 6 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the marbles were all different colours. There was a blue one which sparkled like the sea, and a red one which reminded a Minnie of the old baboon's bottom. There was a yellow one which shone like the sun, and there was an orange one which was as bright as a toucan's beak. There was a green one, and lastly there was a clear one which, if you looked through it, made everything look bigger, and it shone and reminded Minnie of diamonds. They were so special that Minnie's dad sewed a special pocket into her top so that she would keep her marbles safe. Minnie the monkey had lots of friends, and every day when Minnie went to school, she would make her way along the path and use her long swirling tail and her long arms to help her swing from branch to branch. But one day when Minnie woke up, she found herself feeling really, really grumpy. Let me see your grumpy face. Just not feeling it. It's Monday. no, really grumpy. And she didn't want to go to school. But her daddy said she had to because otherwise she wouldn't grow up to be a clever monkey. So she, with her grumpy frown on her frowns, and you really squash your face together. I really don't want to go to school, Dad. I don't want to do it. I'm not happy. Oh. And so with a grumpy frown on her face, she made her way to school, swinging from branch to branch. She used her tail as well. I don't have a tail. I can't use one. Minnie scowled all the way through registration. And Minnie then grumped her way through maths. Oh, so grumpy. And she was so grumpy that she wouldn't help Peter the parrot with his counting. And that made Peter very sad. But Minnie stayed grumpy. Minnie was prickly all through phonics and laughed at Tommy Toucan when he couldn't make the s sound, which he found very hard with his bill. And this made Tommy feel sad. But Minnie stayed grumpy. So let me just draw the parrots. So here's Peter Parrot. That's Peter Parrot. And then we got Tommy Toucan with his big orange bill. That's Tommy Toucan with his big orange bill. And Minnie was still feeling very grumpy, even though she'd upset her two friends. Minnie was surly. That's another word for grumpy. Ugh, surly. And she was surly through snack time and wouldn't let Barry the bowerbird play on the slide. This made Barry very sad. But Minnie stayed grumpy. In the afternoon, Minnie shouted at Kerry the kingfisher and called her stinky. That's not very nice. And that made Kerry sad, but Minnie stayed grumpy. During PE, Minnie was so cranky that she hid Freddie Flamingo's ball. And that meant they couldn't play football. And that made everybody sad, especially Freddie. But Minnie was still feeling grumpy. Minnie normally walked home with her best friend, Mandy the magpie. But today she was so impatient, she didn't wait for Mandy. And instead of waiting for her best friend, she left her behind. And that made Mandy sad. But Minnie was grumpy. She didn't care. When Minnie got home, I'm not sure what monkey houses look like, but maybe that could be a monkey house. I don't know. What do you think monkey houses look like? Maybe. When she got home, her dad asked her how her day had been and had she seen her friends. And Minnie said she'd had a rotten day and she didn't want to talk about it. Just then, she put her hand into her pocket and realised that her beautiful shiny treasure marbles had gone. Normally when Minnie had a problem, she called her friends and they'd come round and help her to sort it out. But not today. She'd been so mean she knew she couldn't ring them. Minnie sat and cried. I've been such a silly monkey. And Minnie explained to her dad that she hadn't been a clever monkey today. She'd been a very silly monkey. And she'd been so grumpy that not only had she lost her marbles, but she'd probably lost her friends. And she didn't know which was worse. Just then, there was a quiet knock at the door. Dad went to the door, and there outside stood her 6 friends. Mandy explained that real friends understand, and sometimes we all feel grumpy. And Minnie had made them very sad, but they still wanted to be her friends. And when she stopped being angry, then Mandy said they were heading to Minnie's house to try and be friends again, and on the way they found her beautiful marbles, and they knew that they would keep them safe and bring them back for Minnie. And so each of her friends lay a marble on the table for Minnie, and they sparkled. They were turning to go when Minnie shouted, "Please don't go. I'm sorry I was such a silly monkey. I was just feeling tired and cross, and it was wrong of me to be mean to you all." And then she gave each one of them one of her marbles and said, "This shiny ball of glass is yours to keep for being such a good friend." And the shiniest of all the marbles, the clear one which shone like a diamond, she gave to her best friend, Mandy Magpie, who had a penchant for anything shiny. Penchant is a French word, and it means that she really likes those things. Penchant, I really like them. And from that day to this was known as the day when Minnie the monkey lost all her marbles but found her true friends, and they all lived happily ever after. Right, so I'll see you tomorrow for the princess who wished for a fish, which is another drawing story, and we'll see how we get on with that one. Okay, let me see your pictures of your monkeys and your birds, yeah, and your marbles. But you might like to make up your own story, and that's okay too.